From the lakefront in Chicago, we take you a few blocks west. We land at McGrath-Phillips Arena, where today we close out the first round of the Big East Conference schedule as the 11th ranked DePaul Blue Demons take on the Hoyas from Georgetown. Well, the Big East standings look like this. Look at that logjam from 2 through 7, 5 and 3s all the way around. And I guess you could take a look at that and you could say, well, we're either all tied for second or we're tied for 7th. Well, here today, though, everybody, we welcome you into McGrath-Phillips Arena. I'm Dave Bernhardt along with Patricia Babcock-McGraw. We're not going to talk about those teams clinched in the middle there. It's the top and the bottom here in the conference standings, DePaul and Georgetown.
Yeah, we saw DePaul there in the standings. They are playing well. They are rolling. They could win their 10th straight in a row here today. It will be a challenge for Georgetown to keep up. This is a team that does not score a lot of points, and DePaul certainly does. DePaul leads the Big East in scoring at 86 points per game.
Well, if there's points from Georgetown, it better come from their current leading scorer. That's Taylor Barnes.
Well, Taylor Barnes is a graduate student who transferred to Georgetown from Memphis for her 5th year and actually was offered a job after graduation but held off so that she could play one more year of college basketball, and the Hoyas are certainly grateful for that. Barnes leads Georgetown in scoring at 12.3 points per game. She also has hit a team-leading 32 threes, and she recently put up a season-high 26 points against Seton Hall. And for DePaul, on a team full of scores, Sonia Morris is one of the best to put the ball in the basket. Morris is coming off her career high on Friday against Villanova with 30 points. She hit 5 three-pointers in that game, but she also had 6 rebounds and 5 steals. Morris is just a sophomore, but has steadily evolved into a complete player for DePaul, a big-time scorer and a pesky defender.
Georgetown comes into this ball game 4-15 overall, coming off a 73-51 loss to Marquette on Friday. Here's their starting lineup. Now, you see a lot of older players. That does not necessarily mean experienced players. The Hoyas suffered heavy graduation losses from a team last year that made it to the semifinals of the Big East Conference Tournament. And on the other side for DePaul, the Blue Demons, as Trish said, bidding for their 10th straight victory. They have won 16 of their last 17, 18-2 overall. We've talked about Sonia Morris. Folks around the Big East, around the country, know all about Kelly Campbell and Shantae Stonewall. Lexie Hale coming off a 21-point game in the win over Villanova on Friday. That was an 85-69 victory for the Blue Demons. That gave them, as you saw earlier, the 3-game lead going into the final game of the first round of this Big East Conference Tournament. And there is Sonia Morris. She's had some explosive games, but I think, Trish, in that game on Friday that we were able to see here, I feel like that her explosiveness lasted the entire game. She didn't have those bursts where she gets 10 in a row, which she's certainly capable of, but it was a sustained effort.
She really did, and she showed her versatility in that game. She hit the 5 threes, but she also did a great job of getting to the basket, and that's really a characteristic of so many players on this DePaul team, where you have 4 players who average double figures, and then the 5th starter, Kelly Campbell, leads this team in assists and rebounding. Just a very well-rounded, deep DePaul basketball team.
Blue Demons 10-1 at home. They are undefeated here at McGrath-Phillips Arena. Their only loss coming at Wintrust Arena. In fact, the only 2 losses for DePaul this year, to UConn and to Oregon State. Georgetown made the short trip from Milwaukee. They came immediately after their game. They played on Friday afternoon, so they've been in Chicago for a couple of days. Deja Church with it. Transfer from Michigan. We'll get it to Kelly Campbell. Blue Demons with 4 players averaging in double figures, and Lexie Hale stumbles along the baseline. Shantae Stonewall leads DePaul in scoring at 17.5 a game. Morris right behind at 17. Lexie Hale's average up to 14.7, and Deja Church at 10.9. We said Taylor Barnes, the only player in double figures for the Hoyas.
Right away with that pressure in the backcourt, hounding Georgetown the entire length of the floor. We will see a lot of that full court pressure here today.
Shot a little too hard off the hands of Marvelous Osagi Aresi, but Anita Kaleva finishes it up. Caleb, hand in the face of Morris. Held open from the corner. Lexie Hale has been shooting lights out as of late.
She had 3 3-pointers in that game on Friday against Villanova. 15 threes for DePaul in that game.
And that's the 48th three-pointer of the year for Lexie Hale. And this coming off the hands of Brianna Jones. Blue Demons waste no time getting up the floor. Morris with the miss. One and done for DePaul as Jones comes away with it, averaging 4.6 rebounds per game. Asagi Aresi gets it inside. Morris got away with the foul there. Grabbed Grace Ann Bennett's arm, and instead it goes the other way, up ahead. The quarterback to the receiver for the score.
How about that, airing it out? It's Kelly Campbell just did such a good job of giving that ball some lift, and Sonia Morris beating the defense down the floor. DePaul so good in transition. You have got to be on your A game defensively to keep up with this team, especially in the fast break.
Kelly Campbell coming off an 11 rebound, 8 assist game on Friday against Villanova. 2 minutes into this one. Sagi Aresi will get it to the right side, and this is Taylor Barnes. Once again, Bennett thinks she was hammered. Campbell finds Stonewall in the corner. Kick out, held. Offensive rebound, Blue Demons. Georgetown to attack the other way with Jones. Hoyas averaged 56.7 points per game, and in that loss to Marquette, Georgetown outscored 42-17 in the second half. Bennett gets it in deep and finishes it.
Bennett really trying to establish herself as a presence inside. They are looking for her, doing a nice job.
Off the back of the rim for Church. Grace Ann Bennett, tallest player on the floor, 6'3" freshman from Lake George, New York. Caleb, tough turnaround, defended nicely, and here comes Held. A 2-on-2 with the pull-up. Lexie Hale. You'll see through the course of these 40 minutes, there is not a spot on this floor that she is not capable of scoring from.
And that was a really good decision, too. Georgetown did a nice job of getting back, but she is so good at just stopping on a dime like that and really giving herself that extra real estate to get a good look at the basket. The defense thinking that she's going to drive in for a layup, and the way that she can just stop and pop, so effective.
Caleb will go left side to Barnes. Line drive 3 for Taylor Barnes. Her 33rd of the year. That's team high. And we're tied at 7. Church will pull it down and take it all the way and get it. Well, check that. Yep, we got a blocking call underneath.
And that was a tough make there by Deja Church. Had to juggle the ball around a little bit and crisscross, and see the ball there is over to her side. You really had to use some strength to get that basket.
Foul was on Shania Wright. Another offensive rebound for Stonewall. Campbell has time. Barnes away and with the run. Attacks Campbell. Now held to Church. Numbers for the Blue Demons. Deja Church with the finish.
Credit to Sonia Morris there. She was up in front of the defense, but spaced the floor just so where it really compromised that defender back there, and Deja Church able to score in transition.
The early 11-7 lead, looking for more. From the corner. Got it. Deja Church with her 3. has doubled it up on Georgetown, and head coach for Georgetown, James Howard, takes a timeout. 5:31 to play in the first. It's a 14-7 lead for DePaul.
You're watching DePaul Ball on the Big East Digital Network.
My parents never taught me anything about managing money.
The amount of student loan debt I have, I'm embarrassed to even say.
We just decided we didn't want debt any longer.
I didn't realize how easy investing could be.
I'm picking companies that I believe in.
I think SoFi Money is amazing.
Thank you, SoFi.
SoFi, thank you. We love you.
Here, we do what others don't.
Dream what others won't. Driven to leap forward, determined to always give back.
Here, we work where giants have played, where the connection of work and ethic is made.
A diverse community possessed with a passion
to know and grow and go and show the world we are prepared to change it. Here, we ask what must be done, for in doing we learn and earn success.
And you can get there from here.
DePaul University. Here we do.
All right, we gotta be all in, all right? We gotta make sure we play with great passion. You have felt each other and helped each other and allowed yourselves to be helped with that, all right? We've got a great opportunity to do that today.
This is who we are.
When you look to your left and you see your sister over there, you help her. Because what we are one. Let's bring it.
1, 2, 3.
Yeah! That's the Big East way. The 2020 Big East Women's Basketball Tournament at Wintrust Arena. Get tickets now.
Stand up stronger. I got the power, gonna raise it up. So high, we're shining brighter. We got the power, gonna raise it up. We got the power, gonna raise it up.
DePaul will be back in action at Wintrust Arena for another weekend of playing possess next Friday evening when Creighton visits the Windy City for a 7 p.m. matchup. Join us in the South Loop as the Blue Demons seek to remain at the top of the Big East standings and bolster their resume for the postseason. Call the DePaul ticket office today to reserve your seats at 773-325-SLAM or visit DePaulBlueDemons.com for more information on additional ticket opportunities. Well, that's how quickly the Blue Demons can jump at you. You glanced up at the scoreboard, it was 7-7, and 30 seconds later, it's doubled up.
So many ways this team can score. They can score out of their press, forcing you into mistakes, turnovers, three-pointers in transition, and then offensive rebounds are big for this team as well. One of the smaller teams in the league, but they are so scrappy on the boards, get a lot of second chance opportunities. This team attacks you from all angles.
Six-game losing streak for Georgetown coming into this ball game. They've played a few teams close, but it's been the offense that has let them down.
A 9-game win streak for DePaul, their last loss coming to Connecticut in mid-December.
Pounding on the dribble, driving all the way, just off the bench, Nikola Kovachikova. A couple of opportunities for the Hoyas. Here's Held the other way, glances right, fires from the left, book it. That's a confident shooter right there.
Already a couple of threes for Lexie Hale. Went on that 21-point game against Villanova. So much confidence out of this sophomore. A couple of really good sophomores on this team for DePaul. Lexie Hale and Sonia Morris.
Blue Demons in the midst of a 10-0 run. Breaking away from that 7-7 tie. Church, kick out, Campbell, three, another one.
The ball movement for DePaul, always outstanding. And they whip that ball around so fast. So many different people touch it. The defense, their heads are spinning sometimes.
Blue Demons average 11 threes per game. They have 4 here in the first 5+ minutes. 13 straight rattled off by the 11th ranked team in the country. Brianna Jones will head to the free throw line as the first substitution of the game for DePaul will check in. That will be Dee Bakelja replacing Deja Church. Bakelja got several starts early in the season when Church was out with an injury. And she's become the first player off the bench for DePaul. Free throw by Jones stops a 13-point run.
You know, Doug Bruno telling us about Dee Bakelja, how impressed that he has been with how she's been able to handle her various roles on this team, whether she's coming off the bench, whether she's been starting. She has been super consistent and has always had a great attitude about what her role is, just wanting to help the team.
Barnes will push it to Kovachikova. Barnes, deep three. Campbell rips it out of there. Here she comes.
Kelly Campbell has really been looking to run today.
Shantae Stonewall gets in the book. 22-9, the DePaul lead with 3:25 to play in the first quarter.
A lot of energy for the Blue Demons here on a Sunday afternoon in a game in which on paper they are supposed to win. And sometimes you're a little sluggish in games like this, but I feel like they have really answered the call here, getting off to a great start.
Anita Kaleva with the inside score. Stonewall hits the three, and Blue Demons have 5 three-pointers in the first quarter.
There is just that pep in the step of these Blue Demons, and it is contagious. When you are playing well and you've got a lot of energy, you start to shoot well, it really rubs off into every part of your game.
Georgetown breaking the pressure and converting is Kaleva.
A couple of times, though, that the Blue Demons have left that backside player get free for Georgetown. Easy buckets down there at the other end off the press.
Tiana Jones with the foul, 6'2" sophomore from Selma, North Carolina, and got up underneath Stonewall. Maya Stovall checks into the ball game along with Church, replacing Morris and Stonewall. Church, when she sees the slightest opening, she's gone. Cassandra Gordon just into the game, able to control it. Kovachikova will start the offense to Jones.
We talk about this every game, Dave, but the pressure that DePaul puts on you in the backcourt, it really carries over into the front court, and sometimes you are going so fast that even once you get past that pressure and you've got it in the front court and you're running your offense, you're still running it too fast, and little mistakes like that. And that is just the mental fatigue that DePaul can put upon you. The pressure never really ends. And when they've got you, and they're in your head like that, really that's when the damage can occur, and that's where DePaul really starts pulling away in games, when they've got you mentally.
Especially with this team that does not have a lot of experience. Georgetown team, you can do a lot of film study, but until you get out here on the floor, as every coach will tell you prior to playing to DePaul, it's a whole different game. In fact, head coach James Howard for Georgetown just said, you know, DePaul is just a whole other beast. And there is James Howard. He's in his 3rd year as the head coach of Georgetown. 39 wins in those 3 years. Had a very successful year last year, as we said, getting all the way to the semifinals, the Big East tournament, and the WNIT. Jones going to try a long one.
James Howard said DePaul is press, 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 run, 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 shoot, shoot, shoot. And that's pretty much the best way to describe it. Pretty succinct, pretty right on. That's what this team does. They press you, they run you, and they shoot the lights out. Another one. Kelly Campbell racking it up. That is 7 threes for the Blue Demons in this game.
28 first quarter points. We still have a minute to play. Sagi Aresi up ahead. It goes to Kaleva. Good press break here by Georgetown. Ends up in the hands of Tiana Jones. Morris and Stonewall back in. And it will be Held and Campbell that will sit for the last 58 seconds of the first quarter. So Georgetown team that lost key players last year. I mean, fans of the Big East Conference. Dorothy Adamako, I think she played like 7 years at Georgetown. She, of course, hampered some injuries. Deanna White was outstanding. Michaela Venson. Those are all people that that's hard to replace. I don't care where you are or what you have coming up in your program. You talk about those type of players. You don't fill those slots quickly.
Well, Georgetown has had a tough time scoring, and they're averaging only 57 points per game. But James Howard reminding us, hey, we lost about 45 points per game from some of those key seniors from last year, and that is tough to replace.
Sonia Morris will get that mid-range jumper, her second basket of the first quarter. DePaul's hit the 30-point mark, continuing to having it doubled up on the Hoyas. Jones attacks the glass.
And you talk about the impact that some of those players like a Dorothy Adamako had for Georgetown last year. Last year, Georgetown making it to the WNIT for the fourth straight season, I believe, making it to the postseason, having, I think, 19 wins last year as a program. And, you know, those are key players to lose from that kind of a quality team.
They did. They finished fourth in the conference last year. So he said made the semifinals in the Big East Conference tournament. And that was back-to-back years. First time in history that Georgetown was able to do that. Of course, DePaul, last year's tournament champions in the Big East Conference. Fourth time in the last 6 years for the Blue Demons.
And you talk about postseason appearances, DePaul, 17 straight NCAA tournament appearances. One of 5 teams in the country, Dave.
UConn, Notre Dame, Stanford, Tennessee, and DePaul.
Very good company.
Those are the Blue Bloods. DeBekel just split her 2 free throws. Tadia Thompson into the game, 6-foot junior from Winter Haven, Florida.
Oh, nice.
Church denies it. It's a 3-on-1 to Stovall. To Bekelja. And Osagi Aresi did all she could. She picks up the foul with 8 seconds to play in the first.
That is just good old-fashioned defense by Deja Church, really overplaying in the passing lane. Get your hand on the basketball, creating this opportunity here with 8 seconds left for the Blue Demons. DeBekelja, another trip to the free throw line.
65% free throw shooter on the season. Junior from Solon, Ohio. In high school, she was the Ohio Player of the Year. Pressure off a missed free throw. And Georgetown will not get a shot off. Well, how about that? A missed free throw is instant pressure with 8 seconds left, and you're still 40 feet from the basket. But that's DePaul basketball. And the 32 points in the first quarter is as well. After 1 from McGrath Phillips Arena in Chicago, it's DePaul 32, Georgetown 15.
You're watching DePaul ball on the Big East Digital Network.
The amount of student loan debt I have, I'm embarrassed to even say.
I felt like I was gonna spend my whole adult life paying this off.
Thanks to SoFi, I can see the light at the end of the tunnel.
As of 12 p.m. today, I am debt-free.
We have no debt, we don't owe anybody anything, and it's fantastic.
All right, we gotta be all in, all right? We gotta make sure we play with great passion. You have felt each other and helped each other and allowed yourselves to be helped with that, all right? We've got a great opportunity to do that today.
This is who we are.
When you look to your left and you see your sister over there, you help her. Because what we are one. Let's bring it.
1, 2, 3.
Yeah!
That's the Big East way. The 2020 Big East Women's Basketball Tournament at Wintrust Arena. Get tickets now.
Stand up stronger. I got the power, gonna raise it up. So high, we're shining brighter.
Fans of DePaul men's basketball team's next home game will be Tuesday, February 4th when they host Xavier at 8 p.m. Take the CTA red or green train lines to Cermak Chinatown and see Big East college basketball from one of the most competitive conferences in the country this season. Individual tickets start at just $20. For more information, call 773-325-SLAM or visit DePaulBlueDemons.com today. Dave Bernhardt along with Patricia Babcock-McGraw with you here today. Patricia, just found out some very, very sad news in the world of sports.
Yeah, terribly sad news. It has been confirmed. We just recently learned that Kobe Bryant, the NBA great, Los Angeles Lakers star, was killed today in a helicopter crash in California. And just terrible news for the sports world. And I know one thing about Kobe with women's basketball. He was a huge fan of the WNBA, of women's college basketball. Had some personal relationships with some really good players, encouraging them and tweeting to them and going to watch games. I believe he has at least one daughter, possibly two, who he would take to WNBA games, and was a big fan of women's basketball, really appreciated the game of women's basketball. So just a horrible news, a terrible news for the sports world, and just our thoughts are with his family.
DePaul with the 32-15 lead. On the floor for DePaul, Stovall, Bekelja. Here's Morris in the corner. DePaul 6 of 14 from three-point range in the first quarter. Georgetown struggling, shooting just 29% overall. So we said Hoyas score 57 points per game. They give up 63. DePaul on the other side, a plus 13.2 margin of victory, one of many categories. Blue Demons lead the Big East Conference. Sagi Aresi, trouble in the corner. Stovall stops her there. Kavachikova to Aresi. Turning on the baseline. A nice move from Tatiana Thompson. Inside, nicely fed into Stovall. Shante Stonewall gets her 7th point on the dish from Deja Church. Near steal from behind. Kavachikova looking baseline. To the corner and Gordon. Maya Stovall getting some extended minutes here early in the second quarter. The skip got all the way through to Bekelja, but the deflection coming from Thompson sets up the turnover.
You like to see Georgetown playing with some defensive spunk, playing hard, challenging passes. They've got some work to do, though. They are getting some looks, and they are getting some transition looks against this DePaul team, which is not easy to do. 2 turnovers in a row for the Blue Demons.
Well, this is a program that James Howard has built on defense. It hasn't really clicked this year. Near steal from Morris. Thompson to move. Shante Stonewall lead the break. Campbell's able to set her feet. And will go the other way. Osagi Aresi. This will not go down. This is a team, a Georgetown team that only shoots 35% from the floor on the season. Stonewall left open, and she makes Georgetown pay her 9th point of the game. Stretches the DePaul lead to 19.
And DePaul, when they need a basket, they know who to look for. Shante Stonewall, so good, especially in the post, especially at those turnaround fadeaway jumpers in the post. You see how she's able to just get that nice position and just really has a good awareness of where she is on the floor. Shante Stonewall extending that DePaul lead of 36-17 with 6:59 left in the second.
You're watching Georgetown Women's Basketball on the Big East Digital Network.
The amount of student loan debt I have, I'm embarrassed to even say.
I felt like I was going to spend my whole adult life paying this off.
Thanks to SoFi, I can see the light at the end of the tunnel.
As of 12 p.m. today, I am debt-free.
We have no debt, we don't owe anybody anything, and it's fantastic.
Stand up stronger. I got the power, gonna raise it up. So high, we're shining brighter. We got the power, gonna raise it up. We got the power, gonna raise it up. We're running ahead, and we got to raise it up.
We're all in, all together. Great voices right at the start, great energy. We're getting excited about what we do, all right? You know how together you are. You know how hard you're going to work, but you also know how good you are. Let's go, Storm. 1, 2, 3. Together!
This is our time.
When we bring it together and we all locked in, we coming back in this locker room with a victory.
That's the Big East way. The 2020 Women's Basketball Tournament at Wintrust Arena. Get tickets now.
My parents never taught me anything about managing money.
The amount of student loan debt I have, I'm embarrassed to even say.
We just decided we didn't want debt any longer.
I didn't realize how easy investing could be.
I'm picking companies that I believe in.
I think so.
Wintrust Arena will host the 2020 Big East Women's Basketball Tournament presented by Jeep starting Friday, March 6th. Enjoy the competition as all 10 of the conference's teams vie for an automatic berth in the 2020 NCAA Women's Championship Tournament. Tickets are on sale now, so call the DePaul ticket office today to reserve your package or visit bigeast.com/WBB tickets for more information. Well, no matter what James Howard tries to do, every time he looks up at the scoreboard, DePaul's pretty much had this lead doubled up from the very start of this game after they broke away from a 7-7 game, ripping off 13 straight points.
And DePaul and the way that they play, so up and down, so in your face. I talked about it earlier, just really fatiguing you from a physical standpoint, from a mental standpoint. They're able to run so many different players at you who can be impact players on both ends of the floor. There's just no or very few weak points on this team. It's hard to know where to attack. It's hard to know, what is vulnerable, and you are constantly faced with that pressure on both ends. It is just wearing.
There's pressure right there in the inbounds as nobody wants to see number 22 in their face when they're inbounding on the baseline. That's Shante Stonewall.
If you just watch her feet and the way that she slides so efficiently, and then she's got those long arms out, it's just, she covers a lot of territory. So tough to get around her.
Brianna Jones is stopped. Back to the top it comes to Kovačíková, member of the Slovakian national team. Popping open is Brianna Jones. And the Hoyas will keep it.
Georgetown, we said, getting those looks, but they're shooting just 26% from the field. They are having a hard time connecting.
Kovačikova, good decision to let that ball just head into the backcourt. As we said, this closes out the first half of the conference season, so the rotation begins again. Now, granted, it is not the same order that you'll play teams. Georgetown will have a couple of home games next weekend against Seton Hall and St. John's, and meanwhile, DePaul will continue their homestand. Their homestand will actually continue at Wintrust Arena on Friday when they take on Creighton. It'll be the Creighton-Providence weekend for the Blue Demons. Nadej John travels on her first touch. John, a 6'2" freshman from Richton Park, Illinois, sat out last year with an injury. Part of a freshman class, 5 freshmen for DePaul. On the pull-up. And yes, it will go for Brianna Jones. She was wondering, hit that front edge of the rim and fell through. Tough defensive stand here for Georgetown. Mentioning the defense earlier, and this is a team that's a program that's always been built on defense, and it's just not happening this year for Georgetown. James Howard said, you know, we're really struggling with help side defense. And here they are with 19 games in. This will be the 20th game. James Howard, a former assistant at Georgetown, the associate head coach for a couple of years, and was an assistant back in the late 90s. You know, he's a guy, you talk about people that put their time in. He does, you know, he was assistant at Georgetown before getting the head job. He was a student assistant coach at Greensboro. He was a head coach at Wesley, assistant at Maryland, George Mason, Howard, and Delaware State. So he's paid his dues to get where he's at right now.
Yep. And he's really calling on his seniors at this point in the season. You know, have some pride, have some fight. How do you want to finish? He's got some older players on this team. You mentioned that not all of them have a ton of experience, but they are in their final month or so of college basketball. And, you know, what do you do? Oh, and just missing that chippy. And what do you do when you're struggling? And how do you find the inner strength to kind of come out of it and to give your best and keep your head up every day? And he's asking for those seniors to really, you know, pull on that emotion of just this is it for us, and we've got to really show some fight, and hopefully that trickles down to the younger players. So he's really had a lot of conversations with the older players on this team about kind of keeping things going in the right direction.
As you saw in that miss on the other end by Anita Kaleva, those are the type of things that have happened to Georgetown this year that you've had to pull yourself up out of. Taylor Barnes had a 3-pointer in the first quarter. She's been scoreless since then, the only player in double figures for Georgetown. Thompson the miss. Church looks ahead. Campbell gets it into the hands of Morris, and that little flick will be yet another assist for Kelly Campbell. It will be the 7th point of the game for Sonia Morris, and the lead is at 20.
That's why Sonia Morris is such a good shooter. That was kind of a haphazard attempt at the basket. I don't think she was even ready to shoot the basketball, but just quickly got herself in line, and that's how easily and quickly that she can score the basketball.
Brianna Jones matches Morris's 3 with one of her own. Campbell already, Kelly Campbell, the senior from Wall, New Jersey, with 4:10 to play in the second quarter, already has 4 rebounds and 6 assists. The other way. Quick release, and it will go for Kovačikova. Back to Campbell for a second. So 6 assists already. She does not have a turnover. Okay, she leads the nation in assist to turnover ratio at 5.5. That's remarkable. But I think the bigger stat is that DePaul has played 20 games. Now in their 21st as Lexie Hale gets a three. DePaul's played 20 games in their 21st. Kelly Campbell, who averages over 30 minutes a game, has turned the ball over a total of 20 times this year.
That's incredible. And you know how many minutes she plays, how often the ball is in her hands. She really is the quarterback of this offense, obviously. Everything runs through her, and she just is so good with taking care of the basketball, ball control, setting her teammates up in just the right position. Her passes are spot on. Lexie Hale getting yet another three-pointer in this game. That's 3 for Lexie, a total of 8 for DePaul.
Balanced scoring for the Blue Demons, held with 11, Stonewall 9, 7 each from Church and Morris, and Campbell has a couple of threes for 6 points. That is one of the reasons they're ranked number 11 in the country. Barnes will pull it down and then pound it on the floor, and it goes off of Barnes, and DePaul will have it.
Number 11 in the country, their highest ranking since being number 9 in the final poll of 2011. And that year in 2011, DePaul achieved its highest ever national ranking, number 7, the week of February 21st. And I could see the Blue Demons climbing a few more ticks this season with the way that they are playing. Just look at how many different people are involved. We just talked about everything that else Kelly Campbell is doing on the floor. Now hitting yet another three-pointer. All of her 9 points have come on three-pointers.
Deanna Jones a little bit out of control there, and we'll play on. Well. Not sure how many different individuals they hit in the middle of that, but in the end, DePaul will have it.
You see the scrappiness, you see the fight out of these Blue Demons when they are up by almost 20 points in this game. It is really amazing how Doug Bruno gets these players to play from start to finish with their foot fully on the gas pedal. They do not let up.
I don't know that I have seen a team that has done that game in and game out for the full 40 minutes. Stovall will get it to Bakelja. We're under 2 minutes to play in the first half. Shot clock's at 5 at 4. Stonewall's going to have to get it up. And pressure. Shante Stonewall misses a shot inside. She stays down there, forces a turnover, and she's going to get a couple of free throws.
And talk about somebody who doesn't give up, who does not take her foot off the gas. Shante Stonewall, just right in the middle of the action at all times. She goes from offense to defense in a blink of an eye. She's just so good around the basketball. You know, no pass, no dribble is safe when she is in the vicinity. We have watched her play so well offensively this year, but her defense has really what has made her the player that she is, and why she is one of the top players in the Big East, one of the top players in the country. It makes her such a complete player on both ends.
She will in all likelihood sit for the final minute 39. Just bagged a couple of free throws. She has 11 points in the first half. 47-26. This lead just continues to inch up. This is the biggest of the game. Boy, Morris stayed with that one all the way. Now Campbell up ahead to Stovall. Campbell is going to look for another one. Kelly Campbell has pulled the trigger a few times here today and has been very successful with it. In fact, her 6 three-point attempts, that's one of the bigger numbers that she's had in terms of attempts. She's knocked down 3 of them. And she gets a hand on the ball there.
Kelly Campbell averaging about 2 steals per game. Sonia Morris right there, number 2 in the conference in steals. And of course, number 1 is Shantae Stonewall. So you've got really 3 of the best defenders in the league on this floor pretty much at all times for the Blue Demons.
Quick move on the baseline. Church gets a good look at it, and another 3 goes down for DePaul. Church with a couple. She has 10 points. DePaul with 10 threes here in the first half, and they've hit the 50-point mark.
And the way that DePaul uses so much of the floor, you saw that ball went from the baseline out to Church, just travels everywhere, really just putting the defense in such a compromising situation.
Well, the question is, how do you defend that when anybody can hit a 3 the other way? Here's the foul inside as Brianna Jones was driving, but you have every one of the starters, every one of the starters has a 3, and of course there's 3 of them have multiple 3-pointers in the first half.
It becomes a question of what do we take away, and that is such a conundrum for opposing teams because DePaul has so many good 3-point shooters. 7 players on this team have at least 15 threes on this season, and 2 have over 40. Okay, but then the thing about these players that Doug Luna recruits, he recruits players that not only are good shooters, but are really good at getting to the basket. And so where do you defend? Do you drop down and defend the paint? Do you go out on shooters? You are just, it's pick your poison, and obviously neither choice is a very good one.
15 seconds on the clock here in the first half. With 7 seconds. Morris, the crossover. Elbow jumper. Did not get the roll. Well, if there was any doubt about DePaul looking ahead to the second round of the Big East schedule, I'll forget about it. 50 points in the first half. The 11th ranked DePaul Blue Demons commanding lead at the half. DePaul 50, Georgetown 27.
You're watching DePaul Ball basketball on the Big East Digital Network.
My parents never taught me anything about managing money.
The amount of student loan debt I have, I'm embarrassed to even say.
We just decided we didn't want debt any longer.
I didn't realize how easy investing could be.
I'm picking companies that I believe in.
I think SoFi Money is amazing.
Thank you, SoFi.
SoFi, thank you. We love you.
Here, we do what others don't.
Dream what others won't. Driven to leap forward, determined to always give back.
Here, we work where giants have played, where the connection of work and ethic is made.
A diverse community possessed with a passion
to know and grow and go and show the world we are prepared to change it. Here, we ask what must be done, for in doing we learn and earn success.
And you can get there from here.
DePaul University.
The amount of student loan debt I have, I'm embarrassed to even say.
I felt like I was gonna spend my whole adult life paying this off.
Thanks to SoFi, I can see the light at the end of the tunnel.
As of 12 p.m. today, I am debt-free.
We have no debt, we don't owe anybody anything, and it's fantastic.
The 11th ranked DePaul Blue Demons halfway to 100 and a 23-point lead over Georgetown here at the half. Well, this weekend marks the 4th edition of Fox College Basketball's All Access. Tonight at 6:30 Eastern Time on FS1, Seton Hall will take on St. John's at Walsh Gym, and both head coaches will be mic'd up for the duration of the limited commercial production. Fox Sports will also take viewers inside the huddles, into the locker room, pre and post game, and much more. This week on Big East Fast Break, Megan Caffrey caught up with Tony Bozzella and Joe Tartamella, the two head coaches, ahead of their all-access matchup.
Ahead of Sunday's St. John's Seton Hall All-Access game on FS1 at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time, I'm joined with the head coaches of both of those teams, Johnny's head coach Joe Tartamella and Pirates head coach Tony Bozzella. Coach B, Coach T, you guys have both coached in an all-access game before. What is this experience like?
Go ahead, Tony. It is, it's a little nerve-wracking, to be honest with you. You're always thinking of what not to say as opposed to what to say, to be honest with you. But it's a great experience, and I think it gives the viewers a tremendous opportunity to see what coaching is really like, you know, the timeouts, the strategy during the game, you know, halftime, pregame. I think it's just a great experience.
Yeah, I think probably 4 years ago or 3 years ago, whenever we both agreed to do the first one ever, I'm not sure we probably knew what we were getting into at that time, but certainly it was an exciting game to be a part of. It's an interesting game as a coach because you're really mindful of kind of what you're saying and what you're doing, but I think at the end of the day, you realize you got to just coach the way you would coach any other game, and I feel a little bit better about that than I probably did in the first game that we did years ago, and then just seeing it done over time. But it's a great way to give exposure to the game, and I think it's only going to continue to get better and give fans more access, and that seems to be what you know, the new wave of where things have been going with how to interact with the game and how to be or how to show different sides of game-like situations to fans.
Coach Tartamella, you mentioned it right there. You and Coach Bozzella were the first to coach in this. Back in 2016, you guys had the first all-access game. How cool is it to see how much this has gotten a lot of traction, that now the men's side of things are doing it as well?
I think it's great. I mean, they came to both of us with the idea, and you know, we were happy to do it. I think we're both a little probably hesitant in ways, but to see that it's still going on means that we did something right, and they did something right. And I know the people at Fox and Steve Shear especially has done a great job in being able to promote it. And so to watch now some of the men's coaches, and they've probably asked Tony and I both about our experience with it before they've done it. So, you know, I think it's pretty amazing to see. And again, I think it gives different coaches or fans different views of the coaches that they follow and the programs that they follow. And, you know, and I think it brings a different dimension to how you watch a game. So it's been exciting to know that we were part of the first one.
We had talked to the two of you back at Media Day about this all-access game and how fun, especially with this matchup between St. John's and Seton Hall, because it's a great rivalry, and you do have a lot of the same players who have grown up playing against one another. So how unique is it for this rivalry to get the all-access game?
I think that's what makes it special. I mean, we have so much respect for St. John's and how well they do. And I mean, look at all the success Joe's had, and obviously Kim before him. But, you know, it's a great game because, you know, it's the biggest, I think, the biggest rivalry in the Big East. I mean, we're close to each other. We recruit a lot of the same players. We're both really competitive teams. We're competitive coaches. And I just love playing them because of who they are and what they've brought and the bar they've raised that we have to, you know, make sure we, you know, do our best to be competitive.
Yeah, I think, I mean, every game you play is in a league, in league play is pretty, I would say, competitive, contentious. You know, there's going to be days where you're playing really well and days where you don't. And certainly when you've got an opportunity, because of the way we play in our schedule, you're playing Friday, Sunday, the rhythm to that is very different as we've gone through the last few years. So when you've got a little bit more time and you've got that bye week, especially against your travel partner, so to speak, in that week, you know, you're trying to make sure that you know, everything is ready, it's in place, and certainly both teams know each other probably better than any team they're going to play because of that. So you've got more time to prepare. You're not talking about maybe a day and a half. So along with the proximity of being able to know the players in most programs that obviously we've watched play over time, you know, along with others that are a part of that, it certainly adds to that piece of the competitiveness.
A ton of competition to look forward to. What else can everyone look forward to this Sunday?
I think a great atmosphere. We're really promoting it. I know St. John's always brings a lot of fans, and it's going to be a really close to a sellout. We're excited for that. Our administration is really pushing it really hard. I know, like I said, Joe's fans travel really well. I think you're going to see a lot of scoring. I mean, both these are two of the better scoring teams in the league. I think, this is the halfway part of the year. So, you want to finish it strong. I said, this is the women's basketball game of the week. I really believe that. And, of the weekend, I should say. And it'll be exciting for everyone.
Yeah, and obviously, hopefully, being at a 6:30 time, that we've got better viewership and being able to push through some of the things that may be on during the day. So, as Tony said, it's not, when you go there, it's obviously a very unique atmosphere, and the fans it's loud, people are on you, they pack it out, it's good. I mean, it's a great atmosphere to play in, and so it'll be definitely an exciting game, obviously with some pace. As Tony and I would believe, but yeah, so I think that it'll be an exciting game for people to see, and hopefully I don't get bleeped too much, and nor does Tony, or we're not on the court at all times. So no, but it'll be good. I think again, it's a great matchup, and it's a big game for obviously both teams, and as we move forward in the league. So as Tony said, it's the halfway mark for both of us at this point, because this is the last game of our round robin. And then we continue to push on. So no, it'll be exciting. I think fans will enjoy the style of play and hopefully the personalities that are involved.
Well, back in 2016, it surely was extremely fun to watch you guys. Both of these coaches will be mic'd up at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time on FS1. Coach Tartamella and Coach Bozzella, thank you so much for joining me.
Thanks, Megan.
You're watching Georgetown basketball on the Big East Digital Network.
Stand up stronger. I got the power, gonna raise it up. So high, we're shining brighter. We got the power, gonna raise it up. We got the power, gonna raise it up. We're running ahead, and we got to raise it up.
Here, we do what others don't.
Dream what others won't, driven to leap forward, determined to always give back.
Here, we work where giants have played, where the connection of work and ethic is made.
A diverse community possessed with a passion
To know and grow and go and show the world we are prepared to change it. Here, we ask what must be done, for in doing we learn and earn success.
and you can get there from here.
DePaul University. Here, we do.
All right, we gotta be all in, all right? We gotta make sure we play with great passion. You have felt each other and helped each other and allowed yourselves to be helped with that, all right? We've got a great opportunity to do that today.
This is who we are.
When you look to your left and you see your sister over there, you help her. Because what we are one. Let's bring it.
1, 2, 3.
Yeah!
That's the Big East way. The 2020 Big East Women's Basketball Tournament at Wintrust Arena. Get tickets now.
DePaul on its way to their 9th straight victory in the Big East Conference through the Big East season and their 10th straight overall. We're at halftime here at McGrath-Phillips Arena. Dave Bernhardt along with Patricia Babcock-McGraw. DePaul has just gradually pushed this lead out, and they're just doing what DePaul does.
They are. The offense has been amazing. They're shooting 50% from the field. They are loose. They are confident, comfortable, fluid. I mean, that's what you expect out of one of the top offenses in the country. This is an offense that is in the top 5 nationally in points, threes, and assists. They just have power and impact from everywhere.
And everything that you just described, we can take a look at in our highlights here from the first 20 minutes of this ball game. Again, running the floor, that's one of the things you just mentioned they do, one of several.
In transition, Sonia Morris doing it, Deja Church even finishing with contact there, and then Church showing her versatility, also stepping out and hitting a 3, and DePaul already 10 threes in this first half.
A couple of players in double figures. In fact, 3 players in double figures for the Blue Demons already here, as Kelly Campbell, another big assist game. She already has 6 assists here in the first half, and there are your first half numbers, and that does tell the story.
You see the field goals there, and look at that. 15 assists on 18 made field goals. DePaul moving the ball beautifully, sharing the basketball. Great team offense in the first half for DePaul.
20 minutes of basketball left here at McGrath-Phillips Arena with a 50-27 lead for DePaul. Oh, yeah, yeah. Oh, okay, so start making a list of stories. I mean, because we got some good stuff, actually.
Yeah.
Okay, we have 2 players aren't going to play. Maybe we should wait on that Curitin. Well, she's not going to play. I don't know if Campbell will
What
get
about
there.
the Spain trip?
Oh, yeah, that'll be good. Because she'll start the second half. So.
Yeah, Marvelous.
Yeah, let's do that one.
Gosh. Osagi
Aresi.
Aresi. Has she been on the team for 4 years?
Yeah, 3-year walk-on. Yeah. DePaul in game number 2 of a 4-game homestand. 20 minutes to go in this one. Blue Demons 18-2 on the season, 8-0 in the conference. On the other side, Georgetown dropped their last 6 games, just 4-15 on the season. Original starting lineup for both of these 2 teams out on the floor here as we get started in the third quarter. A left-handed whip pass to Lexie Hale, and we pick up where we left off. Lexie Hale buries her 4th 3 of this game.
Wow, just wow. I mean, right out of the break, right out of halftime.
Going down and being clipped on the knee is 5'4" senior Marvelous Osagi Aresi. And you know, when you're in school, Trish, you come back off a summer vacation, everybody says, well, what did you do on your summer vacation? I think Marvelous has a nice story to tell.
She does. Well, the entire Georgetown team was in Spain over the summer playing some overseas basketball. They spent an extra 2 weeks together. They went 3-0 over there, had a great time. And at the end of the trip, James Howard feeling good about everything, and it had a big surprise for Marvelous, announcing in front of the entire team that this 3-year walk-on for the Hoyas was going to be awarded a full scholarship for this year. And so her teammates were so excited for her. I got it captured on video, and the video went viral on Twitter of her just being overwhelmed with joy. And then, get this, Dave, 24 hours later, Marvelous offered a full-time job with Nike. So she's got her final year at Georgetown paid for, and then she also gets a full-time job that she can look forward to after she graduates. So a nice trip to Spain for Marvelous. It's certainly marvelous news.
Kelly Campbell, speaking of threes, hits her 4th 3-pointer of this game. She has 12 points. Left-handed shot will go for Anita Kaleva. So now you're, I don't know if she gets enough minutes to do it. Now you're starting to look at triple-double situation. A 3-ball goes down for Sonia Morris. Are you kidding me? Held, Campbell, Morris, all in the first 90 seconds here of the third quarter.
What else is amazing about Marvelous, who has the ball right there, is that now she is starting games for Georgetown as a former walk-on and averaging 10 points per game for the Hoyas. And there she is right here trying to make something happen for Georgetown. They are having a hard time finding the bottom of the net.
I think that's a lesson to a lot of young players. You keep working, working, things are going to happen for you.
Well, it is a commitment to be a walk-on on a Division I basketball team, because you are putting in all the work that comes with being a Division I basketball player and not getting the benefit of a scholarship, and to hang around and to stay with it for the 3 years like that. It's just great news for her to be able to be put on a full scholarship.
Another rebound for Kelly Campbell. That is her 6th, and we have a timeout. 28-point lead, the biggest of the night for the Blue Demons.
You're watching Georgetown Women's Basketball on the Big East Digital Network.
The amount of student loan debt I have, I'm embarrassed to even say.
I felt like I was going to spend my whole adult life paying this off.
Thanks to SoFi, I can see the light at the end of the tunnel.
As of 12 p.m. today, I am debt-free.
We have no debt, we don't owe anybody anything, and it's fantastic.
Stand up stronger. I got the power, gonna raise it up. So high, we're shining brighter. We got the power, gonna raise it up. We got the power, gonna raise it up. We're running ahead. We got to raise it up.
Fans, come watch head coach Doug Bruno and the DePaul women's basketball team play this season by purchasing the Lincoln Park 2-pack. Select any 2 remaining McGrath-Phillips games that are convenient to your schedule and take advantage of the 2-game women's basketball mini plan for only $16. To learn more, call the DePaul ticket office today to reserve your seats at 773-325-SLAM or visit DePaulBlueDemons.com for more information on various ticket opportunities. 7:43 to play in the third. DePaul already has 5 players in double figures. We told you we're on triple-double watch for Kelly Campbell, the senior, with 12 points, 6 rebounds, 6 assists, and of course, no turnovers.
Wow, that's a nice line, and that is a typical Kelly Campbell line. Just always filling that stat sheet.
In a game and a half this weekend, she has 14 assists and has not turned the ball over.
Wow.
People turn the ball over in layup lines.
Gosh darn it, if we stop it, you're going to jinx her.
It has to happen in the next 30 seconds or it doesn't count.
And I'm going to tell her it's all your fault if it does.
Strong rebound there from Tayana Jones. Jones, sophomore from North Carolina. Sonia Morris picked up her second foul. DePaul led 32-15 after 1. Stretched out with an 18-12 advantage in the second quarter. Now they're going to look to get it up here near 30 points. 59-31, 3 minutes into the third quarter. Coming up for the Blue Demons, they will be at Wintrust Arena. This coming weekend, it will be Georgetown. After the Georgetown game, it'll be Creighton. It'll be a 7 o'clock tip-off Central Time from Wintrust. One of 6 games DePaul is playing at that facility this year. Stonewall and a strong drive to the basket. Held's underneath, and she finds her way to score her 16th point.
Well, we talk about it every year, but one of the reasons that DePaul comes in so prepared and on point for the Big East is because Doug Bruno goes out of his way to schedule a monster of a non-conference schedule. And you remember games that DePaul has played this year against just such tough competition: Oregon State, Miami, Florida, Northwestern, Notre Dame, Connecticut. I mean, those are all programs that are having great seasons, and DePaul losing only 2 of those games to Connecticut and Oregon State. And that Oregon State game was on the road. The Connecticut game was a great game in which DePaul made a valiant comeback and really had UConn on the ropes late in that game. So some really great preparation for this DePaul basketball team, and they are like hitting all cylinders by the time they get into Big East play, and that has been really a staple of the way Doug Bruno has coached over the years. It just really puts his team through the ringer during the non-conference season.
Well, this was a team that really came out focused this year. Not that they haven't other years, but they felt that last year, maybe in the early portion of the season, for DePaul we're speaking, maybe in the early portion of the season last year, they had some games get away from them, and they realized the impact it had on them later in the season. Well, not only did they take care of business, as you said, in that tough non-conference schedule, boy, when they have hit conference, they have slammed that accelerator down. There's a 3 from Taylor Barnes, her second 3 of this game. She has 8 points.
And those games that they left on the table last year, they really feel negatively affected them in terms of their seeding in the NCAA tournament. So these Blue Demons, they're gunning for another Big East title, and they are really playing for March and how their entire schedule lines up for them to have a better seed and possible, home court advantage in the tournament.
Deanna Jones, the kick out. Osagi Arasi, There's Stonewall. She looked ahead. Instead, she'll go to Church. To Campbell, looking for that trailer. Here it is. Morris. Church crashes the boards, and maybe a bit too hard. And it is. Deja Church will pick up the foul. We're speaking of Doug Bruno. Boy, February 10th is a big day for Mr. Bruno because he is already one of the finalists for the Women's Basketball Hall of Fame. That will be announced. The inductees will be announced on February 10th. That's just around the corner. And of course, he will be the first one to tell you that it's all about the players. Well, 17 straight trips to the NCAA tournament. I think that has a little bit to do with coaching as well. Fee from Held to Campbell. 14 points for Campbell. It's the 3rd assist of the day for Held. Blue Demons 19 assists and 23 baskets. Aresi fouled as she tries to turn the corner. Barnes looking to get into double figures. She is the only player that averages in double figures for Georgetown this year. As you mentioned in our open, Taylor Barnes, a graduate student, transferred from Memphis. And how about that shot from Deanna Jones? Brought it from her knees. 4:50 to play in the third quarter. DePaul cruising here at McGrath-Phillips Arena. 18-2 on the season. Georgetown's not giving up.
You're watching Georgetown Women's Basketball on the Big East Digital Network.
all together. Great voices right at the start, great energy. We're getting excited about what we do, all right? You know how together you are. You know how hard you're going to work, but you also know how good you are. Let's go show them. 1, 2, 3.
Together!
This is our time.
When we bring it together and we all locked in, we coming back in this locker room with a victory.
That's the Big East way. The 2020 Women's Basketball Tournament at Wintrust Arena. Get tickets now.
Here, we do what others don't.
Dream what others won't, driven to leap forward, determined to always give back.
Here, we work where giants have played, where the connection of work and ethic is made.
A diverse community possessed with a passion
to know and grow and go and show the world we are prepared to change it. Here, we ask what must be done, for in doing we learn and earn success.
And you can get there from here.
DePaul University. Here we do.
Stand up stronger. I got the power, gonna raise it up. So high, we're shining brighter. We got the power, gonna raise it up.
DePaul will be back in action at Wintrust Arena for another weekend of playing possess next Friday evening when Creighton visits the Windy City for a 7 p.m. matchup. Join us on the South Loop as the Blue Demons seek to remain atop the Big East standings and bolster their resume for the postseason. Call the DePaul ticket office today to reserve your seats at 773-325-SLAM or visit DePaulBlueDemons.com for more information on various ticket opportunities. Dave Bernhardt, Patricia Babcock-McGraw, part of a 4-game homestand for DePaul, and they've made the most of it after defeating Villanova on Friday night, 85-69. They're back at it here today, sticking 65 points on the board midway through the third quarter. Tiana Jones at the free throw line, the sophomore from Selma, North Carolina, provides energy off the bench for James Howard. Cannot finish that three-point play. Quickly up ahead to Held. Church intent on getting it to Stonewall. She does. Once again, the scrap for the ball and pressure off the missed shot. Masagi Aresi is able to get it to Barnes. Can't get that one to go. The offensive rebound. The scoop and the score, though, from Caleba. She reaches double figures with 10.
And one thing that Georgetown has done pretty well this season is rebound. And Lexie Hale just answering nonchalantly with yet another three. 5 threes for Lexie in this game.
Aresi, that's a charge. Stonewall took it. 5 threes for Held, 14 for DePaul. 14 of 32 from outside the arc. That's 44% shooting. They've hit half of their 8 3-point attempts here in this third quarter.
Lexie Hale up over 50 3-pointers this season. Wow. Toni Morris, just a tick under 50. She's at 49. Just think about that. You got 2 players with essentially 53s on the season, and you're just halfway through conference. That's incredible.
And folks in the Big East Conference will not want to be reminded that they're both sophomores.
No.
Here's Morris on the drive, the take, but she walked as she got there.
This group gets a well-deserved break. Wholesale change here for DePaul. You got 5 in, 5 out. And the starters, they have done their work here today, and their work is done.
They leave with 3:36 to play in the third quarter, having built a 30-point lead at 68-38. Into the game for DePaul will be freshman Marissa Warren. We talk about Maya Stovall. She's a sophomore. The junior Kiara Dahlman wearing number 42, defending on Tiana Jones, who knocks down the jumper. Diva Kelja is back into the ball game, as well as Nadej Jan. 68-40. John the catch is going to put the ball on the floor, take it with the left hand and score. I got to believe that was part of the message that Doug Bruno gave the freshman. Say, you get it, you take it.
Yeah, no let up. This is an opportunity here for these reserves to get some real quality minutes and not just nursing a lead, but wanting to add to it, wanting them to get their experience. And wow, that was a great take there.
Went off a couple of hands, but Tiana Jones going to get the 2 points behind her name in the scorebook.
Yeah, she's had a couple of really difficult baskets go down in this third quarter.
She has 8 for the game off the bench. Diva Kelja, why not get in the act, Diva Kelja? She knocks down the 3. 15 threes today for DePaul.
After 15 threes on Friday against Villanova.
Friendly shooting Jim McGrath-Phillips Arena. Nifty move to get to the basket. Sagi Aresi with that basket. Her first points of the day.
And yet, and think about that, back-to-back games this weekend in which DePaul hit 15 threes. They're second in the country at threes per game at 11. So they're already exceeding that level, and that's already one of the best marks in the country.
DePaul second, as you said, in terms of 3 points made. They are first in the country in 3 points attempted. Coming into this game, DePaul had attempted 637 three-pointers. Aresi completes that three-point play. Kiara Dahlman working inside, didn't get the whistle. Aresi has Grace Ann Bennett in front of her, got it to her, and returns it. Corner under pressure, knocking it down is Cassandra Gordon.
You know, one of the things that Doug Bruno always tells us is that he says, yeah, we take a lot of threes, we make a lot of threes, but I don't want us to be known as just a three-point shooting team, and we shouldn't be, because one of the reasons, and there's Diva Kelja lining up another 3, 16 threes in this game for DePaul. But one of the reasons we do so well with the threes is because we get to the basket, we offensive rebound, we score in transition, and that opens up those three-point shooters. They do so many other things to be able to open up the 3, that they're not just forcing threes, they're really taking threes within the natural progression of their offense. You see right there, wide open, why not take that? And Doug Bruno is never gonna yell at a player for taking a wide open shot, even if it's a bad miss. And that's another reason this team is so good at shooting threes. He is so good at letting players miss shots. As long as you're not forcing anything, as long as you are open, if you miss, you know, you miss 5, 6 in a row, but maybe you're gonna make 5 or 6 in a row. And that's part of the reason that these players shoot with such confidence, and they are not afraid to pull the trigger.
You know, part of the mantra at DePaul is shoot it or share it. Well, Blue Demons have done both here today. They have shot it, 47% from three-point range, as we said, 16 threes, and they have shared it, 22 assists in 27 baskets. Taylor Barnes will get it. And Barnes will get into double figures with 10. Taylor Barnes, a graduate student from Memphis, Tennessee, went to the University of Memphis before coming to Georgetown.
Well, and just like marvelous Sagi Aresi, she also has a job lined up. She actually put that job on hold for a year, and to be able to come here and to Georgetown to play one more year of college basketball, and she is getting her master's degree in the sports industry management program at Georgetown. So she is set up. She's, you know, getting to live out her dream of playing one extra year of basketball, but she knows that she has a nice job lined up for when she graduates.
Well, and how many times do you tell younger people, listen, you can work your entire life, but play when you can play, whatever that may be. She's maxing it out. Yeah, getting a master's degree from Georgetown is not going to be a bad thing for her. A little scramble into the final minute of play here in the third quarter. Dahlman can step out there and hit it. Not this time. John with the strong offensive board gets the bench for DePaul up and cheering on the freshman.
John Dahlman, 2 players we're watching here for DePaul. That gives DePaul something it hasn't had in a long time, a big inside presence. They are making an impact here in the final minutes of the third quarter.
Warren head up, looking down the floor. Shot clock is off. With 10 to shoot, 10 in the quarter. John posting up, getting in deep, and She will go to the line with 7 seconds left. Nadej John playing in her 10th game this season, only averaged about 5 minutes per game in those previous 9 games. A little controversy early in the season with Nadej. Controversy is a very extreme word as to how she wanted her last name pronounced. She was going back and forth. She was, let me emphasize, she was going back and forth pronouncing it Jean or John. We've been told we're going with Jean.
You say Jean, I say Jean. You say tomato, I say tomato.
I'll tell you, there's a 30-point lead. I don't want to hear any more of this tomato stuff. 30-point lead for the Blue Demons. They stick 30 points on the board here in the third quarter after 3. There's your score from Chicago.
I'm going to come back. What do you want for postgame?
Want to do Kelly Campbell?
Yeah, let's do
Kelly Campbell. Kelly Campbell.
Okay.
Alejandro. I'm going to go with the senior.
Yeah, let's do Kelly because we just did Lexie on Friday.
Yeah, we did. That's right. Hey, so I think we went out of order on the I think I got it. The Creighton game. What one's coming up next? Okay. All right. Thank you. All right. So are we going to put Campbell with my headset here, or should she just?
There's a spare one right there, Dave.
Right, but I mean, we're going to have 3 of them. So let me just put the headset on her and I'll slide down a chair. Is that how we'll do it? Okay, and then let us know how you want us to close the broadcast or whatever. Okay. Okay, okay. I should probably test this mic to make sure it works. So then we'll just, okay, here we go. All right, I've got it on. Sounds good from my end. All good? I do. Yes, I do. All right, thanks. So, how do you want to, oops. Wintrust Arena will host the 2020 Big East Women's Basketball Tournament presented by Jeep starting Friday, March 6th. Enjoy the competition as all 10 of the conference teams vie for an automatic berth in the 2020 NCAA Women's Championship Tournament. Tickets are on sale now, so call the DePaul ticket office today to reserve your package or visit bigeast.com/WBB tickets for more information. You know, and you just glance ahead at the calendar, March 6th is not that far away when everybody's coming to Chicago.
I can't believe January's almost over.
This is the last Sunday in January.
I know.
Everybody's going to make that trip through the conference once again, and they will find themselves here in Chicago during that weekend. DePaul, the defending Big East Tournament champions. And they are just 10 minutes away from taking a 9-0 record into the second half of this conference season. Maya Stovall at the point. Same 5 that were on the floor at the end of the third quarter started here for the Blue Demons. Dahlman to Stovall. She'll step in. And it's Bennett and John tied up underneath. Georgetown gets a couple of home games. Boy, it's been on the road for a while. Villanova, Marquette, and DePaul. That is a rough stretch. Offensive foul.
Yeah, Dahlman with a hold or a push there in the post, but I was just about to say she's doing a great job of fighting for position, showing a lot of energy, using her strength. It'd be fun to watch her develop, giving DePaul an added dimension to its offense with that kind of post play.
6'2" junior from Sheboygan, Wisconsin. Up to the top it comes to Tatiana Thompson. Bennett has it just taken away from her. DePaul averaging 86 points per game this season. They sit at that 80-point mark right now, 1 minute into the fourth quarter. Warren. There's Bekelja. They'll start it over again. Bekelja will let it fly. Bekelja has 3 threes. She's double figures off the bench with the 11. 17 threes for DePaul in this game.
I remember you get a lot of experience with Bekelja. She's been in this program for a few years now, and she has been in a lot of different roles, has started some games this season. Really a stabling factor for the Blue Demons.
Stovall to the corner, the hot hand Bekelja. And that ball slipped out of Bekelja's hands on that long cross-court pass. Thompson, ooh, thought, and Stovall did as well. She may have had a clean strip there. Well, send the 6-foot junior to the free throw line.
Had Maya Stovall to get back, and she knew that she wasn't in a position to draw a charge, so she did the next best thing and went after that basketball.
Nikola Kovačíková back into the ballgame, 5'11" junior from Slovakia. She's on the Slovakian national team. James Howard looking for big things here to close out this season.
Anita Kaleva on the Croatian national team. Kind of some international flair on the Georgetown roster.
First appearance of the game for DePaul for Kayla Caudle, 6'1" freshman from Vernon Hills, Illinois. She replaces Nadej John. An 83-52 lead. Blue Demons have led all the way except for just a few seconds early in this game. Caudle gets it in deep. Another offensive rebound. DePaul leads the Big East in offensive rebounds, over 15 off the offensive glass per game. Boy, Dahlman working hard in there, but Grace Ann Bennett's able to break it up. Kovačíková got a little bit greedy looking for Jones. Warren will back it out. High, low, big to big.
How about Diva?
Oh my! Ho, ho, ho.
Bekelja really making the most of her minutes here in the second half with the reserves. 13 points now for D, 4 or 5 field goals, and she has had like 3 offensive rebounds in a row. Just keeping that possession alive, making that shot while falling down. A nice job by D off the bench today.
85-52, 13 points, 3 threes for Bekelja. She has 11 of those 13 points here in the second half. Draining the 3 is Kovačíková. Warren's going to try it. James Howard takes a timeout just so he can get Cassandra Gordon into the game. That allows Hannah Purcell to come in for DePaul, replacing Stovall. You know, I look across the way and I look at both the 2 head coaches, James Howard. Here's Kovačíková again. Rebound to Dahlman. I look at both the head coaches, and I think they both came into this game and they got what they wanted out of it. Georgetown has played extremely hard through this entire game.
Right.
Great pass.
Nice high-low between Otto and Dahlman. Got some promising post players in the ranks for DePaul. And I think, we'll see that high-low post action a lot.
You know, saying with James Howard, his team came in, he's felt at times that maybe they haven't played the hardest. They have really gone at it here today. And on the other side, Doug Bruno, what's the one thing everybody that walked into this building said, well, will there be a letdown for DePaul after the big win over Villanova on Friday and facing a Georgetown team that came in 1-7 in the conference? Well, those questions were answered pretty quickly. That this was end-to-end effort and execution by DePaul.
And I think right away, those questions were answered for DePaul. I felt like the Blue Demons' energy right out of the gate was spot on. As you could see, there was a pep in the step. There was energy defensively that set the tone for the offense. I think that they wanted to come out here and make a statement. Like, no, we are not going to have any let-ups. We are a much stronger team than that. That is why we are a top 15 team, number 11 in the country. When you're 11 in the country, you don't have let-ups.
Brianna Mayfield just into the game. She'll get it into the paint. And she can't handle it. Turnover will send it the other way. Georgetown with just 15 turnovers today. And I say just 15 because in 20 games this season, DePaul has forced 20 or more turnovers 17 times. Purcell with it. Purcell will head to the baseline. On to bounce, McElja. Nice block inside. Thompson, a short little jumper. Kovachikova looking for the hot hand, and there it is. Cassandra Gordon gets her third three of the game.
And back-to-back from that very spot on the floor.
Ooh. That is John. Didn't see that one coming. From this side? Nope. Jones couldn't get it to go. DePaul has hit their season scoring mark with 4.5 minutes to play. Kick out Warren. Doug Bruno will be shuffling his bench around here. Next dead ball. We'll get a couple of players back in. Warren goes down. And that'll be a blocking foul on Marissa Warren as Brianna Jones gets her 10th point of the game. Jones will become the third player in double figures for Georgetown. They look up the board, though, and they trail by 24. So do you want to alternate questions? You want me to get it started? You just want to run with it from there, or what do you want to do?
Yeah, what do you want to do? What do you think would be best?
I'll start with the first one, and then.
Okay, we can see how it goes.
Yeah.
Okay. What are you gonna ask her?
I don't know. What I was going to ask you what I should.
Why don't you ask her why this team is playing so well right now?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, what's the common denominator? And then I'll ask her about just having such complete games. Does she focus on one thing, or I don't know.
Okay. She's 14, 7, and 7.
Yep.
The amount of student loan debt I have, I'm embarrassed to even say.
I felt like I was going to spend my whole adult life paying this off.
Thanks to SoFi, I can see the light at the end of the tunnel.
As of 12 p.m. today, I am debt-free.
We have no debt, we don't owe anybody anything, and it's fantastic.
Stand up stronger. I got the power, gonna raise.
Fans, group of 15 or more, can save at any DePaul women's or men's basketball game. Whether it's a birthday party or a team celebration, a Blue Demons game provides high-quality action at a very affordable price. Be sure to take advantage of this great offer and gather your friends and family for a college basketball game at either Wintrust Arena or McGrath-Phillips Arena. Be sure to visit DePaulBlueDemons.com or call 773-325-SLAM this week to book your outing with a DePaul group ticket representative. Nice crowd here today at McGrath-Phillips Arena on a Sunday afternoon. DePaul leading the Big East in attendance as well as atop the standings. 4 minutes and 3 seconds away from winning 10th straight game, 9-0 in the conference, and a 19-2 overall record. Brianna Jones at the free throw line. 5'9" graduate student, can't finish that three-point play. Stovall and Dahlman came back in for DePaul at that last dead ball. 1-3 from Purcell. Oh, look out, everybody. Yeah, John, Dahlman, and Thompson all down, sprawled in the paint. And that will go against Thompson. Steve Bekelja comes out, gets a nice hand from the DePaul fans. 13 points for Bekelja, 11 in the second half. Knocked down 3 three-pointers here in the second half.
And everyone who is dressed for DePaul getting into this game, valuable minutes here for the reserves. Be able to play in a Big East basketball game, get that experience. And the reserves and freshmen during the non-conference got a lot of really good minutes for the Blue Demons.
Shot clock's at 9. Stovall will beat it with the 3.
Part of why you see the offense still really working very well is that experience that these players got during the non-conference, got some confidence, got some time working together as a unit. A very deep DePaul basketball team.
Kick out to Thompson. Warren away with it. Numbers against her.
James Howard doing the same thing here, getting some of his reserves, some experience, some good minutes.
DePaul once again hitting that 90-point mark. John thought that 16-footer was just a bit out of her range, ends up walking, heading to the basket. Nikola Kovachikova, Warren, look out, everybody. My heart rate went up there for a brief moment. This game has gone pretty much the way it was drawn up on the board, at least in that DePaul locker room. They got out to the big early lead. There's another 3-ball on the way. Missed everything from Gordon. She has 3 threes. DePaul coming out to a 32-15 advantage after 1. And built that lead to 50-27. At halftime, it was 80-50 at the end of the third quarter. Foul, that looks like that will go against Brianna Mayfield.
And one of the things that Georgetown coach James Howard has got to be pleased with is that he was telling us that typically his teams have started games really well this season and have just not come out with much spunk after halftime and had a hard time in the second half, a hard time closing out games. And in this second half, Georgetown has been fairly competitive. It was just that first quarter where DePaul really made a statement and established the tone, but you got to credit the Hoyas for hanging in there and sticking with it and trying to be competitive in this game and really working hard. We've seen some fight out of the Hoyas. We've seen them get to the basket, challenge DePaul. And those are the little growth factors that every coach, especially of a team that's struggling, is looking for. Just how do you respond in this situation? What little changes, what little improvements can we make from game to game? And that Marquette game that Georgetown played on Friday, they had a pretty good start and then just let Marquette creep back in and didn't really finish very strong. At least in this game, James Howard has got to figure that his team has given a little bit more of a consistent effort from one quarter to the next here throughout the entire game.
Again, another chance here. Ooh, going high, nice catch from Gordon. Final 60 seconds. Marissa Warren will bring it up. She hit a shot just moments ago. Dahlman will get it out of there to Warren. Marissa Warren, a little flair to her game. (92-63). DePaul's been over the 100-point mark 3 times this year. Not going to get there today, but they came in averaging 86 points per game. That number's going to be boosted up just a bit. Thompson gets a soft roll on the rim off the bench. Tatiana Thompson with 9 points. And DePaul can stand over the dribble if they choose. Still running some offense. Whether there's a shot out of this remains to be seen here with 8 seconds left. Marissa Warren looks and says that's going to do it. And indeed it will. A 10-game winning streak for DePaul. A perfect 9-0 in the conference through the first run through the Big East. Blue Demons go to 19-2, winning their 17th game of their last 18. A sweep of the weekend here, Villanova and Georgetown. Today it was DePaul 92, Georgetown 66. We've got more to come here from McGrath-Phillips Arena. There's your final. The Blue Demons moving on. Their homestand will continue on Friday at Wintrust Arena against Creighton. More to come up right after this. All right.
How many triple doubles does Kelly have? One?
One, yeah. Still waiting on our player. She's on. I'm stayed on my headset.
Yeah.
Nice crowd filing out of this one here at McGrath-Phillips Arena. There's your final score. DePaul 92, Georgetown 66. The Blue Demons go to 9-0 in league play after the first cycle through the conference. And welcome back to McGrath-Phillips Arena. Patricia Babcock-McGraw is there. I'm Dave Bernhardt. This is Kelly Campbell right here in the middle. And Kelly, I'm going to ask you like the most obvious question, but it may be a difficult question. You guys are playing so well. Why?
I mean, it's definitely a difficult question, but just a lot of teamwork. We're all playing together, really competing out there. So I think the pieces are really coming together nicely, and we're just trying to focus on one game, one possession at a time.
Kelly, here's your stat line for today, your personal stat line. 14 points, 7 rebounds, 7 assists. This is so typical of you. You are always a threat to get a triple-double. Why? Why are you able to touch so many different parts of the game for this team?
I really just try to do all the little things to my team. So whether it's a rebound or getting my teammates finding them when they're open. I mean, the assist is really my teammates knocking down shots, but really just going down and getting down the rebounds. So I don't know.
Focus on one area, or just you've
just
got
do whatever I can to help the team win.
Well, you know, the one thing you do, and we come on the air, you know, right at tip-off, basically. We don't come out here and get on the air about an hour and a half, 2 hours before. You are always the first person out here shooting. Can you talk about your work ethic and what that's all about?
Yeah, definitely. I just take pride in being the hardest worker in the gym. So whether it's getting here first or leaving last, I always want to get shots up and just do whatever I can to really help the team win.
What's been the senior leadership like for you this year? You've been, you know, waiting for this moment, senior year. This is my team. What's that been like for you?
It's been a really good time. Me and Shantae really have embraced our roles as senior captains, and I mean it's going well so far. So just hope to keep it up.
Yeah, I would say so. 19-2 is pretty good right now.
Agreed.
You guys have won 10 straight games. You were 11th in the country in the national polls. What is the potential for this team, in your opinion?
I think this team has really great potential, and I'm really excited for what we have in store and looking forward to the next weekend.
All right, next week, get a homestand. Congratulations. It seems like you've been on the road forever,
really,
right?
Sure, yeah.
All right, well, congratulations today, Kelly. 14-7-7 for senior Kelly Campbell. The Blue Demons come away with a big decisive victory here against Georgetown. Well, there's the numbers, 92-66. The Blue Demons moving on. Next up for DePaul, it will be a home game at Wintrust Arena. That will be on Friday. And for Georgetown, they will be home. They'll face Seton Hall and St. John's. Well, thank you for joining us here on a Sunday afternoon. For Patricia Babcock-McGraw, I'm Dave Bernhard. Blue Demons, 10 in a row.
Here, we do what others don't.
Dream what others won't. Driven to leap forward, determined to always give back.
Here, we work where giants have played, where the connection of work and ethic is made.
A diverse community possessed with a passion
to know and grow and go and show the world we are prepared to change it. Here, we ask what must be done, for in doing we learn and earn success.
And you can get there from here.
DePaul University. Here we do.